Hi everyone, Phil here, back for another video. As I said at the end of my last video, the limited run Switch game update. This video is a Vinegar Syndrome unboxing. Now, I'm trying to keep this to the side because there's my addresses all over it. I'm also trying to get them out without wrecking the shop. But every time I try and get them out, I show off my address. Ah, there we go. Done it right this time. The address is on like all but this one side. So we have one stack and a small stack. Chuck the box on the floor out of the way. Right, so what have we got? Let's do this. Let's do the big stack first then. So there's a combination here of Vinegar Syndrome new stuff. Some of the, I think there's a couple of the 10 for $10 that they did every day. It was like 10 films, $10 a piece, and you know, a lot of them had a chance to get the back catalogue, if you will. In fact, you know what, we'll just get them all out and then we'll go through them all. Wow. Right. So yeah, there's some 10 for $10, and there is two partner labels as well. So we'll do it in, let's do it in this order. That makes sense. Right, so first up, we'll do the two 10 for 10s. We have Resurrection, Christopher Lambert film, or Christopher Lambert, we only call him Lambert. This is a 90s 7 style movie. The Matt is coming. Really underrated. I had this years ago. I'm a massive Christopher Lambert fan. You know, huge Highlander, loved Highlander. And Adrenaline, Albert Pune film. That's a great low budget movie. So yeah, I had this on VCD. Because years ago I was a massive VCD collector. I used to collect Impact magazine, and there's an advert in back of there once. It was like VCDs, and I ordered one. They send you a photocopied little booklet with all the titles in. I was ordering stuff. This was what would this have been? It would have been early. It would have been like 2000 maybe. Yeah, because one of the first things I ever ordered was The Matrix on VCD. And then I had tons. This was when Warner Brothers were actually legitimately releasing, a lot of stuff was Warner Brothers, were legitimately releasing titles in Hong Kong and China under Speedy Video. So yeah, and one of the films I got was Resurrection. I think that version was censored, and then obviously, yeah, that was a slightly censored version. This is uncut, obviously, because it's Vinegar Syndrome. But yeah, great little underrated movie. This was, like I say, $10, £8 something. Yeah, that's a no-brainer, to be fair. And then this is another $10 one that I took a now this, everybody's probably going to laugh at me. I've never seen this film. Never seen Don't Answer the Phone. Don't Go in the House. Don't Go in the Woods Alone. I've not seen Don't Answer the Phone. And I saw somebody mentioned it and saying it was like, and I can't for the life of me what they said. Somebody said something about this film, and it's like, oh, I might have to one day try and pick that up. And then it popped up in the 10 for 10, so I was like, well, I'm going to have to get it now, aren't I? So, like I said, not seen Don't Answer the Phone. This will be first time watch. $10. If I don't like it, probably stick it on eBay or one of the Facebook groups I'm part of. Next up, this is a weird one. This one, 1993. This is backstory time. Story time with Phil. 1993. Well, 92 I think it was. 92. I broke my this arm. Yeah, this wrist, and my right knee. So left wrist, right knee, on a push bike. Basically, I bought a 15-speed bike. Someone at Halfords put 18 gear. It was a Halfords purchase. Someone put another thing on. So then it was supposed to be 15 speed. There was room for 15. You know, the cogs for enough thingies. They put an extra cog on. Because of that, the bike would just jam up at times, and like sometimes I'd slid off. I'd slid off and slam my nuts against the handlebar. And then this one time, literally, my mum used to look after some kids, and she was up there going up to his school. I was like, oh, I'll pedal around and I'll meet you up there. So I comes around this corner, coming towards me. My mum was walking this way to the school, and it jammed up. I went flying. It didn't just slide on it. I went flying. Broke my wrist on impact on the floor, and then the bike actually broke my knee, my actual knee. And after back and forth, you got to remember this before the days of fucking compensation and all this lot. We actually found a solicitor that would sue Halfords. Now I'd probably got fucking tens of thousands, and I got like $2,000 and my lawyer fees paid. Was it? No, I think it was like two and a half, 3 grand, like 2,750, something like that. And the lawyer's fees paid, the solicitor's fees. I had to sign a thing that said I would never sue Halfords again if I have any problems, which I do have with my knee, because it was so broke it was hanging on by a tendon, it turned out in the end. But that's a long story to tell you that with that money, as a 16-year-old, my dream was to go, and my dream was always as a kid, I was massively into movies, I wanted to be a filmmaker, I wanted to be a director. So what better to do with when you've got nearly $3,000 worth of cash? Buy a plane ticket to Los Angeles and go on holiday. So I was 16, so obviously I had to go with my mum. We went to Los Angeles, stayed in a hotel near the airport for a couple of days, and then went to a motel. This is how mental we were. We bought a plane ticket, return tickets. Bought a couple of nights in a hotel. When we were there, then we're looking at motels in the phone book, because this is pre-smartphone days. In the phone book, found a motel near Century City, which is the back lot where 20th Century Fox is, where Nakatomi Plaza and all that is. And walked to, we were supposed to catch a bus. We went the wrong direction, ended up walking through Inglewood. Saw a guy beating his wife in the car, which is terrifying. Ended up walking. We'd walked miles in the end. Got to Century City. Got this motel. We stayed at this motel for then like it was like a further 11 nights, and then another night in the hotel at the airport before we came home. So a long story to tell you that one night we'd been out, and I was like buzzing. We'd been out. We'd been looking around. We were in our Century City. There was an open mall there, and I'd found a shop that was selling VHS. I bought The Exorcist, Zombie Flesh Eaters, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 on VHS. I was buzzing as a horror fan. I didn't sleep because I was so excited. 16-year-old kid who just bought 3 fucking nasties on VHS. My mum goes to sleep. I'm not watching TV. At the time, I was watching reruns of Married with Children. Don't know why. But after that, I switched up to USA's Up All Night with Rhonda Shear. And they showed... This is getting a real long story. They showed Sorority House Massacre 2 Nighty Nightmare, which I do wish someone put that out. And then that was followed up with this. And I haven't seen it since 1993. And I'm sure I watched it in a bit of a sleepy daze. Evil Laugh. Long story short, I watched Evil Laugh 1993. Never watched it since. Bought the Vinegar Syndrome release. This is a weird one because I used to get this confused. Don't ask me why. With Bloodhook. Evil Laugh and Blood. Don't know why. Absolutely no idea why. But yeah. Evil Laugh. Like I say, I don't remember much about it. I remember enjoying what I saw. But then some people say it's a terrible film. So I don't really know. But yeah. I do wish they'd put out some more part of Sorority House Massacre 2 though. And Hard to Die. A.K.A. Slumber Party Massacre 4, is it? Or is that Sorority House Massacre 3? Whatever. Hard to Die. Nighty Nightmare. Well, those need to be put out. But yeah, Evil Laugh. Haven't watched this in forever. Whether let's say I'm 45. 45-year-old me will enjoy this more or less than 16-year-old me we will have to have a look and see. And then we've got an all-time classic. You can't argue that this is an all-time classic. From Beyond. Just one of the best 80s horror movies. This is the new 4K. I'm not going to lie. I don't have a 4K player. I probably, maybe, possibly will get a 4K player. But it's got the Blu-ray anyway. They got the 4Ks. Most 4Ks have Blu-rays. If they don't, I don't buy them. But yeah, I just want the best overall presentation, which is going to be this Vinegar Syndrome release, obviously. Yeah, this is a stone cold classic. It really is, mainly because of the performance of Barbara Crampton. Absolutely brilliant. I love the fact she's now back working. Been back working again for a few years now. It's fantastic. But yeah, what is not to love about From Beyond? Yeah, great movie. Great movie. I'm going to leave this to last because there's another I don't know about it. Next up, a couple of non-Vinegar Syndrome partner releases. We've got Mind, Body and Soul. This is from, is it Rick Sloan? I'm sure it's Rick Sloan. I'm sure it is. Who made Hobgoblins? I'm sure it's Rick. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Apparently shot at the same time as Vice Academy 3, which I have the VSA of the Vice Academy trilogy, with some of Part 4 and 5 as well. But yeah, I haven't seen this. Remember it being a staple in my local video shop on the shelf. I do remember that. I definitely remember that. But never seen it. But what's not to love about Wingshauser and Ginger Lynn Allen? Gotta be good. Rick Sloan. Yeah. And then this one. This is an interesting one. Bit of a story. This is my first ETR release. Saw this at Fright Fest donkeys years ago. Really, it was on one of the small screens. I think I skipped the mainstream movie to watch this documentary and fell in love with it. It's a weird one. I think we're alone now. It's weird ass packaging. Good, but weird packaging. It's about two guys that are basically obsessed with Tiffany, the 80s pop singer. See, that's the artwork I remember from that hand-drawn logo from the Fright Fest screening. Yeah, really. It's weird because it's kind of it's. I remember it being creepy. Yeah, it's sad and depressing, but also creepy. I'm sure it got a DVD release, but like a under the radar, just shoved out there release. I think it got out in the UK. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, whatever the case, I now have the Blu-ray. I have to watch this one again. Yeah, this was weird. I was a huge fan of Tiffany as a kid. Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. I still love those two. Two left. Let's do the big one, the big boy. Another big set from Vinegar Syndrome. Chuck Norris Sidekicks. Yeah. Another big boy. How does this open is the question. Oh, with a denting on the top. How does this open? Oh, there we go. It's a magnet one. That's a strong magnet. So yeah, this is a is it really class it as a VSA? Oh, VSU. Sorry, VSU. Number 5. So this is like Beastmaster and stuff. So you've got the, I don't know what 2.5 is. They're going to crack all the thing there. You've got that picture on the inside as well. So we've got, that's quite cool. Little like magazine. Even got like fight like Chuck Norris. Get some fucking throwing swords and stuff. Great piece on Chuck Norris's career and the poor. Yeah, even treated it like Barry Grabowski, but it's instead of using the actor's name. Yeah, this is for me. This is a proverbial Stone Cold classic. I watched the crap out of this on VHS. I bought the X-Rental VHS from a local guy in the area. Used to have a VHS shop. Used to buy, sell, trade. So he would have X-Rentals and stuff. That's where I got a lot of tapes. It's also a lot of early DVDs as well, because they only moved on to DVDs. But yeah, so we had I got Transfers 4 and 5 from there. Sidekicks. I had literally at one point I had a Chuck Norris VHS collection, all the Missing in Action movies. I think Missing Action 1 was in a spongy case and everything. It was a really weird release. So yeah, Sidekicks had the original VHS X-Rental. Had the VHS sell-through. I've had the DVD. Now we've got this swanky 4K release from Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, this is just absolute classic. Great movie. It's a bit like it's Karate Kid, really, isn't it? It's the same sort of like wish fulfillment. Kid gets taught how to do karate from some guy that's an expert. Fights in a tournament, they all win, happy ever after. But yeah, one of Chuck Norris's. Now, side note, can somebody do this? This might sound weird. Can somebody do this with Top Dog? I want someone to put out a super swanky, fantastic version on 4K of Top Dog. Because I love Top Dog. I don't care what anyone says. I love Chuck Norris from Top Dog. Absolutely love that movie. Chuck Norris and a dog. What's the other one that needs a good release? Is it The Hitman? Where he's fighting the devil? I'm sure it's The Hitman. I'm sure it is. Chuck Norris on a black coat and it seems like he's fighting the devil. I'm sure it is that one. The Hitman. I'm getting that wrong. If I'm getting it right, I'll put it here if I got it wrong. I'm sure it's The Hitman. Oh, it was called Hitman in some country. But anyway, yeah. So I want Vinegar Syndrome to do this with Top Dog. Do this with Top Dog. I'm not even joking. I want someone to put this Top Dog out like this. Because I love Top Dog. And it's like one of the films that was treated the worst. It was like the end of Chuck's like VHS reign, if you will. When DVD came in, the movies weren't treated well. I think Top Dog got like a last minute DVD VHS. I think it was one of the last. I'm sure it's one of the last VHSs that my local store ever got in. Because it was like VHSs and then suddenly it was like squeaking in. DVDs come squeaking in. VHSs get moved off. The VHS pound a week section disappears, replaced by DVDs. I used to love that pound a week section. Oh man, I can't talk about that. I've gone for ages. Pound a week section, love that. But yeah, I'm sure Top Dog was one of the last sort of VHS tapes. VHS only, I should say, not VHS. VHS only only things they got. Yeah, and then I had the Missing in Action video, MIA, that used to relate to Impact Magazine. I'm sure they put that out on like a really cheap budget DVD, but it wasn't cheap budget price, not like a Prism 5 quid, it was more like a 10, 12 quid one. I'm sure it was. But anyway, yeah, please, Vinegar Syndrome, put Top Dog out as a VSU like this. I'm not even joking. Last but certainly not least is this thing. Made in Hong Kong, Volume 1. Now, not going to lie, don't know anything about The Demon's Baby, Erotic Nightmare or The Deadly Camp. 1999 Deadly Camp. I have no knowledge of any of these whatsoever. But, let me get this out. Got the old hard box. Got a booklet, which, wow, it's jam-packed with information and stuff. Cool. And then we have the actual. Then you get, so you get a hard box with a book in it and a slip-covered Blu-ray. Yeah, I know nothing about these movies. I've never seen any of them. They just sounded insane, and I've kind of been turned on to. I mean, I used to, years ago. I mean, I can't even been turned on to years ago. I used to watch all sorts of weird Category 3 stuff. I mean, I went to... Can we have a quick second story time? I went to Australia in 2002 on a work visa. And I spent most of my time in Chinatown in this VCD shop. There was a VCD shop in Chinatown in Sydney. And I stayed in the hostel, and it was literally like a quick walk from the hostel to Chinatown. You just walk straight down the street. You'd pass a DVD shop on one, and record shop here, that's where I picked up Street Fighter on Australian DVD, which I had for the longest time until the US release. And then you'd walk down the street, and you'd be Chinatown at the bottom. And I spent God knows how many hours browsing those shelves, looking specifically for Category 3 titles. Bun Man, Run to Kill? Choose Run to Kill. What's the other one? Just come out of here, isn't it? Oh, Ebola Syndrome. Yeah, all those. I'm just looking up there because I have. So I used to get those Category 3 stuff and watch them like mental. I used to be part of a web forum that people would trade VCDs, and people would get the tape. You get people get the tape from China or Hong Kong or somewhere, and then manually sub it and put it on VCD and trade it off and stuff. Great times. So yeah, but saying all that, I never came across these three. But this sounded just mental enough to be up my street. And as we all know, everyone's going down the sort of... You can't say... Well, you can. I think the Italian side's kind of dried up. All the Italian films have been put out. You know, all the Italian horrors that we know from the VHS era have been put out. Then they moved on to the Polizei movies and the crime thrillers, and then started mining like back catalogue of famous people, Fulci and Lenzi, and mining their back catalogue, Sergio Martino. And then all of a sudden it's like, right, we've done all that. We're kind of getting a bit thin on the ground there. What can we do? 88, you started doing that Shaw Brothers collection. Arrow do a Shaw Brothers collection. 88 do Jackie Chan. And then once that's run through, because Jackie Chan back catalogue, a lot of it ends up with like Disney, Miramax, because they're Miramax and all that. It's like, what can we do next? So you've got like I say up there, I've got Ebola Syndrome up there, Seventh Curse, Iceman Cometh. There's like Robotrix for Christ's sake. I remember Robotrix from back in the day. They made a massive deal about that when it came out originally. So yeah, I'm picking up all that weird. I kind of haven't picked up the Jackie Chan stuff because I've got all the Jackie Chan stuff, but the weird and wonderful stuff, Seventh Curse, Iceman Cometh, never seen it. That looked like Highlander on the back of that. I picked it up. Robotrix is a mental film. Ebola Syndrome's mental. Yeah, you know what I mean? Untold Story. That's the other one. And Bun Man and Choose Run to Kill. So this looks as mental as that. I mean, apparently 1999 Deadly Camp is like a Japanese Friday the 13th. I mean, you got look at that chainsaw wielding madman there. Yeah. So look my street. So looking forward to digging into these. Like I say, it's not a little bad stack. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies there. Well, 8 releases. There's 3 on this one. So technically 10 films. And out of all of those, there's 3, 4, 5 I haven't seen. It's not bad. 50%. So yeah, that's my Vinegar Syndrome stack. I've waffled on for ages. So way too many little stories. But the stories are why I'm a movie guy. I love movies. I never did become a director. I write about movies, I review movies, but never did make my own. Even though I've got scripts up the wazoo in the back pocket, if you will. The proverbial back pocket, I should say. So yeah, that's my Vinegar Syndrome pickups. Nothing really interesting me on the next lot. I know they've got Biozombie, but I was never a fan of that one myself. They need to do... what was the guitar one? Wild something with the guitar band. Anyway, yeah, there's one of the pickups. That's it. I've waffled on for far too long. I'll just say thanks for watching. As always, if you could like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and say thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.